I still remember the day my son came to me and said, "Dad, I wish you had told me to follow my dreams, not just get a steady job." His words cut deep, and I couldn't help but think about my own life and the choices I made. I was taken aback, and all I could say was, "I was just trying to provide for you, son." My name is Walter. I'm 78 years old, and I've learned a thing or two about life. Today, I want to share with you one lesson that I wish I had known earlier, and it's this: don't let your parents dictate your passion. It's a hard lesson to learn, but trust me, it's one that will save you a lot of heartache. Growing up in a small town in Ohio in the 1950s, I was always told to get a good job, something stable, something that would provide for my family. My parents were farmers, and they worked hard to give me and my siblings a better life. So, when I graduated from high school, I did what they expected me to do. I got a job at the local factory. It was a good job, with good pay and benefits, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a writer, to travel, to see the world. But my parents were adamant that I needed to settle down and provide for my future family. I remember my best friend, Jimmy, who had a passion for music. He wanted to be a rock star, but his parents wouldn't let him pursue it. They said it was a waste of time, that he needed to get a real job. Jimmy was heartbroken, but he listened to his parents. He got a job at the factory, just like me, and slowly but surely, his dreams started to fade away. But here is what I never told anyone: Jimmy's story had a profound impact on my life, and it's a big part of why I'm sharing this with you today. As I worked at the factory, I started to feel like a part of me was dying. I was good at my job, but I wasn't happy. I felt like I was just going through the motions, living a life that wasn't mine. I started to write in my spare time, just for myself, just to keep my passion alive. But my parents didn't approve. They said it was a hobby, that I should focus on my real job. They meant well, but they just didn't understand. But here is what I didn't realize at the time: my parents' fear and uncertainty were driving their advice. They wanted the best for me, but they didn't know how to support my dreams. They were afraid of the unknown, and they didn't want me to struggle. But in trying to protect me, they were also holding me back. It wasn't until I met my wife, Sarah, that I started to see things differently. She was a free spirit, an artist, and she encouraged me to pursue my passion. She said, "Walter, you're a talented writer. Why aren't you doing something with it?" Her words sparked something in me, and I started to take my writing more seriously. I started to write for the local newspaper, and eventually I landed a book deal. But it wasn't easy, and there were many times when I doubted myself. The turning point came when I had to choose between my job at the factory and my writing career. It was a tough decision, but I knew what I had to do. I quit my job and focused on my writing. It was scary, but it was also liberating. I finally felt like I was living my truth, like I was doing what I was meant to do. But here is what I never told anyone: it wasn't until I had a heart-to-heart with my son that I realized the true cost of not following my dreams. He said, "Dad, I wish you had told me to follow my dreams, not just get a steady job." His words cut deep, and I realized that I had been living my life according to my parents' expectations, not my own desires. I had been so focused on providing for my family that I had forgotten to live my own life. The revelation hit me like a ton of bricks: don't let your parents dictate your passion. It's a lesson that I wish I had learned earlier, but it's one that I'm grateful to have learned it all. I wish I had told my son to follow his dreams, to pursue his passion, no matter how scary it may seem. I wish I had been brave enough to do the same. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about stability? What about security? Those are important things, but they're not more important than living a life that's true to who you are. My son's words still haunt me, but they also remind me of the importance of living my own life, of following my own dreams. But here is what I want you to know: it's never too late to make a change. It's never too late to pursue your passion, to follow your dreams. I'm 78 years old, and I'm still writing, still creating. I'm still living my life, and I'm still learning. And that's what I want to leave you with today. Don't let anyone, including your parents, dictate your passion. Follow your dreams, no matter how scary it may seem. It's a lesson that I wish I had learned earlier, but it's one that I'm grateful to have learned it all. So, if you want to hear more stories like this, if you want to learn from my mistakes, then please subscribe to my channel. As I look back on my journey, I realize that it's the struggles, the setbacks, and the moments of uncertainty that have shaped me into the person I am today. And it's precisely those moments that I want to share with you, in the hopes that you can learn from my experiences and avoid some of the pitfalls that I encountered. You see, when I was growing up, I was always told that I had to follow a certain path, that I had to pursue a certain career, that I had to make my parents proud. And for a long time, I bought into that narrative. I believed that I had to conform to certain expectations, that I had to fit into a certain mold. But as I grew older, I began to realize that this wasn't the life I wanted to live. I felt suffocated by the pressure to conform. I felt like I was losing myself in the process of trying to please others. And it wasn't until I hit rock bottom, until I felt like I had nothing left to lose, that I finally found the courage to break free from those expectations and forge my own path. It was a terrifying experience, but it was also liberating. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was truly living, like I was finally being true to myself. Now, I know that not everyone will be able to relate to my story, and that's okay. But what I hope you can take away from my experiences is the importance of staying true to yourself, of following your heart, even when it's scary. Because the truth is, the only way to truly find happiness, to truly find fulfillment, is to pursue your passions, to pursue your dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. And I know that it's easy to get caught up in the fear, to get caught up in the uncertainty, but I want to assure you that it's worth it. Every moment of struggle, every moment of doubt, is worth it, because it's in those moments that you discover your strength, your resilience, and your courage. And it's in those moments that you discover what you're truly capable of, that you discover your true potential. So, don't be afraid to take the leap. Don't be afraid to follow your heart, even if it means going against the grain, even if it means going against the expectations of others. Because in the end, it's your life, it's your journey, and it's your happiness that matters most. And as I share my story with you, I hope that you can see that it's not about achieving some sort of perfection. It's not about being some sort of role model. It's about being human, it's about being vulnerable, and it's about being true to yourself. It's about embracing your flaws, your fears, and your doubts, and using them as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to evolve. So if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling uncertain, if you're feeling like you're not sure what to do next, just know that you're not alone. We're all in this together, And we're all on this journey of self-discovery, of growth, and of transformation. And as you continue on your own journey, I want to leave you with a message of hope, a message of encouragement, and a message of support. You are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. You are capable of overcoming any obstacle, and you are capable of pursuing your dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. So don't give up, don't lose faith, and don't lose sight of your goals. Keep pushing forward, keep striving for greatness, and always remember that you are enough, just as you are.